Let's start with the pig expansion, but I will go to the premium Piggles first because it seems like it's kind of what the whole pack is built around. Shout out to Kriparian for revealing the cards. Premium Piggles. Adjacent small items have their cooldown reduced by 1 second and +5 value during combat. When you win a fight, get a premium Piggle. At the start of each day, upgrade a random premium Piggle. And what they are, there is the yellow Piggle. Shield 10. This item's cooldown is reduced by 1% for every 5 shield it has. Heal 10. Also reduced cooldown. Burn 4. Heal 10. There's a lot of interesting mechanics here because of this part of the text. The thing is, it's reduced by 1% for every 5 damage that it has. I think that means it needs like how much damage? It needs like 400 damage or something to be a 1 second cooldown. That's not super achievable in most games, unless you start playing and you charge items and you start scaling it. I don't think that happens too often. Yeah, there are only 4 Piggles. This one I think is the most likely one, because there are a lot of skills that increase healing, like Vineyard, for example, but it also seems like the worst one because of it. Never ever discount an item that can potentially be a 1 second cooldown, though. They will be broken in one way or another. Especially because they're small. So, display case. At the start of each fight, adjacent items gain 2 value. We use an item with value over 10, shield 20. I don't think this one is super good, but it is good value farming. I don't know if this needs to be on the board for the value farming. If it doesn't, it is a very good item. If it does need to be on the board, it's pretty weak. Shielding 20. Like, this might work with stuff like the money tree and the rice baller. I really like that they're kind of bringing like the whole pig high value item playstyle more to the front, because it feels like it's been struggling. It feels like it's been trying really hard, but never really found a way to do it. This is kind of a penalty item, yeah. Money Furnace is a medium property tool. Burn equal to this item's value on a 10-second cooldown. At the start of each fight, spend 5 gold to increase this item's value by 3. It's a pretty bad trade deal. If this is your only property, it has double value in combat. I don't know if I like this one. I'm saying that now, and then it's going to end up being like giga broken. It does go down in cooldown on upgrade. Okay, that's interesting. It is literally burning your money. You invest in esports and you burn your money. The thing is, if I look at it like this, it looks like a worse Kiss. And Kiss is already like not very good. Thing is, it's bronze 10, silver 9, gold 8, diamond 7, 7-second cooldown. It's not great. You can't use it with 4 because it loses the double value. I don't think I like this one. I don't think it's very good, but I could very easily be missing something. Piggle Storm Gaming House. Okay, so this is the one that scales all the premium Piggles. Your weapons gain 5 damage for the fight, shield, 5 shield, 5 heal, 1 burn. When you use a toy or friend, charge this at 2 seconds. So there is a really big charging loop that you're going to be able to do with the toys. And this one is potentially dangerous because it can lower the cooldown of the premium Piggles. And those are going to be your main damage. Piggle Storm being at silver is insane. I don't think that matters at all. I think this is exactly the type of item that needs to start at silver. Because if you don't already have a toy or friend, mostly toy build, it doesn't do anything. On top of that, premium Piggles, you need to like buy it and then wait to get the premium Piggle. So it's a lot of investment. It's not like you just unlock a build right away. There is a certain amount of committing. So if this wasn't silver, it would be entirely unplayable. You can never commit to it. It's like potentially a very crazy item though. Especially with how fast the items are going to go off. So this is the Piggle Launcher. Deal 10 damage, shield 10, heal 10, burn 1. When you use a toy, charges 1 second. This is also pretty insane with this. So you could have like the gaming house, the Piggle Storm, you could have the launcher, and then 4 the premium Piggles. You're going to use them, you're going to charge this, they're all going to like scale in value like crazy. The one item that I can no longer ignore after talking about this for a couple of minutes is Yo-Yo. The best toy in the Piggles expansion is going to be Yo-Yo. So before I go on, I will go to the item that I revealed, which is this one, the Tournament Arena. Your toys have +1 multicast. At the start of each day, get a random toy. This item looks really broken to me. just because you slap it on the board, all your Piggles get double cast, your Yo-Yo gets double cast, and that's just going to create so many insane change. The Piggles are going to fly all over the place. I really like the flavor. I know that Reddit likes to complain about, I'm already disgusted by these items. I already hate this game because charging items exist, and I'm tired of it. I don't see it that way. I see new toys. I get excited to play the new toys. That being said, yes, it does look very strong because Yo-Yo is a thing. I kind of wish maybe Yo-Yo wasn't a thing sometimes because it breaks a lot of things. But without Yo-Yo, there's no pig. I like this item. I really like it. Beautiful art as always. But yeah, just giving everything +1 multicast, starting at silver, and getting a free toy every day will probably break some things. That being said as well, it starts at silver, yes. People compare it to Shipwreck and Robotic Factory that start at silver. I pretty strongly disagree with that take. I think it's very short-sighted because giving multicast to any aquatic, any friend is a lot more likely to break a chain than it is to giving toys currently. That's why there are different pools for different types of items. Toys do not really break anything by having multicast except Yo-Yo. Yo-Yo is the only item that has been breaking a lot of things because it is a charge item that has the potential to charge other items really well. I don't even think that Want is that insane at all. I'm honestly pretty indifferent to Want. Like, Want on paper sounds like it's like the best item ever, but then you play it as like it's a 6-second item. It doesn't really have a lot of synergy with other items currently in the game to charge itself, unless you enchant it, of course. This, with double cast, it's a little more likely to actually pop off. However, the expansion we've seen so far for toys seem to mainly want to play with Yo-Yo and with the premium red Piggles to get lower cooldown. If this item ends up giving you a second Yo-Yo, you probably just win the game. Yes. I agree with that. If you get a second Yo-Yo, you have a very good chance. You just have a absolutely disgusting build. That might honestly be the like strongest thing about it because it gives you a potential to just win for free. Tournament plus model ship, that seems really mid. Like, that's 5 spaces on the board. And then you still have to fit 5 other slots on the board to scale and to charge or have a charge loop. I just don't see it. I think you want this, and then you want 7 payoff items. I think these items look strong. I think they have a lot of potential. Everybody that I've seen comment on this card, on the video where I revealed it on Reddit, I think you're only looking at this card in Disneyland. It's a lot harder to like put it on the board and have appropriate scaling while still making your items work properly to actually have that charge going. That being said, yes, it can still break the game. It will. It is strong. But I think making a comment where somebody says like,
wow, I hate this expansion already. I am not looking forward to playing Bazaar.
I say, why do you play video games in the first place? I see new toys, I get excited. Apparently Reddit sees new items and they just shit their pants. Like, I don't know. I guess different generation or something. People just like to complain. But I'm excited to play with this. It looks very fun. Also strong. Piggles Protectors. Small toy. This has double shield. When you use an adjacent toy, this gains 2 shield for the fight. This one seems really mid to me. This is a early game item to soft commit to toys. You put this item on the board, you get some Piggles, you get some premium Piggles, you get a couple of the payoff items like the arena, and then you're pretty happy with it. But then you get rid of it later on. Reddit is usually full of people who got banned on Discord. I wonder why. Yeah, just toxic nonsense, man. It's like, if you... Okay, I'm sorry. I don't want to keep ranting about this. I just want to, like, review these cards. But if you play a game that you supposedly enjoy because you are playing it, right? Bazaar is nothing like League. You're not being held hostage. You're not so addicted that you literally cannot let go of the game. If your first thought, when a game has a new update with new cards that look cool, open up new opportunities, and your first thought is, holy fuck, this is gonna suck. I'm pissed. Why are they adding these items? They're obviously gonna be broken. If that is your first thought, maybe play something else than video games. Maybe you need to go for a walk or something, bro. If you cannot get excited at new stuff being added and your first instinct is to get pissed, I don't know if video games are for you at all. That just seems like a really, really horrible way to go about life. Maybe I just like liking things. That's possible. Just play chess, exactly. I'm excited for this expansion and absurdness broken. See, that's healthy, right? You can see an item and you're gonna be like, oh my god, this is so broken. I can't wait to play it. That's me. But if you then go to Reddit, it's like, oh my god, what the fuck are they doing? Are these designers? Do they even know how to, like, wake up in the morning and make breakfast? They seem completely stupid. Like, come on, man. Like, I don't know. Anyway, maybe I read too much Reddit. Okay, so silver item, sponsored apparel, which hopefully Bazaar is gonna send to me as well at some point. At the start of each fight, if this is in play, spend 8 gold to increase the value of all your items by 1. When you use a toy, that toy's value. So there's like this really interesting mix between you want to scale the stats on your toys, but you also want to scale their value. I quite like it. Okay, so when you use a toy, shield equal to 1 time that toy's value. I feel like we need toys that have like real payoff for having value, which we don't really have. Yeah, there's no real payoff for having value on your toys, except this, the display case. 10 FT value. Yeah, I don't really know. I don't really see it. It's a good item, but I can't really rate it in like the context of this set. Actually, there is this, right? Your toys have double value, adjacent. This is the only real payoff. Wrist War, yeah, Wrist War is good actually. This is pretty good. But like, you want to get 100 value on a toy, and that's not super easy to do, right? But you do want that for the crit chance, but then you're still spending 2 slots on the board for this. I don't think this item goes there. You play this item to give some value to your items, and that's about it, really. And then this is a little bit of extra crit chance. I think there is a really solid game plan here for just multicast toys, just play the good toys. I don't think there is an angle for the value on the toys, but it seems to be either that or that. Yeah, and we don't see the higher upgrades either. We need 50 value for the toys to have. That's true. Yeah, it's only 50. Okay, Piggle's board. When you use a toy, charge another toy 1 second. This one seems really good. I would honestly not be surprised to see like Arena, Piggle's board, and then like Premium Piggle, Yo-Yo, Premium Piggle. Actually, that doesn't work because then you don't have scaling. You need scaling. You need scaling from something, and I actually don't know where you get that necessarily. Pig has good skills for scaling. Yeah, these seem good, but what I'm missing is the damage scaling. That is the only thing that I'm missing from this set, and I can't like think about one card that really gets that damage scaling easily. Yeah, I can't, like, I think the toy stuff is really good. I think you're going to struggle with the scaling, and if you can find the scaling, they're going to be really good. I can't really imagine what that looks like. Yeah, like, yes, drum, but if you're playing drum, you're not playing the arena, so you're losing the multicast, and I think overall multicast is stronger. Okay, so let's go to the Vanessa cards. Oni Mask, burn 3. When you crit, your burn items gain 3 burn for the fight. When you slow, charge this item 2 seconds. Yeah, this one seems a little nuts. This one seems really strong. It starts at bronze. It has the when you slow charge this text, which has shown to be extremely powerful with stuff like the shot glasses. The hardest thing here is critting, which Vanessa, to be honest, is really good at. Dart launcher. Small weapon tech, deal 5 damage. If this is adjacent to a slow item, slow 1 item. This is adjacent to a poison item, poison 3. This is an early game item. This is completely unplayable in the late game because these two things don't really scale based on the damage on the dart launcher. But early game, this is a really good item. If you can poison 3 in the early game on a 4-second cooldown item, you're gonna win a lot. Good item. The item to the right of this has 10% crit chance where you crit. With the item to the right of this, slow 1 item for 1 second. This seems to be exactly what this item wants. These two basically go into the same build. Okay. Kusarigama. Deal 5 damage, slow 1 item for 1 second. When you slow or crit, this and adjacent weapons gain 5 damage for the fight. Oh, this is a small item. Oh, wow. This is actually a lot better than I thought. When you slow or crit. That's really good damage scaling. Like, the problem with these items is you need to find the crit. Without the crit, it doesn't seem that good. Cauterizing Blade. 5 seconds. Deal 20, burn 2 is a quest. When you slow, this gains 10 damage and 2 burn. When you haste, this gains 10 damage and 2 burn. Slow 10 times, haste 10 times. Shot glasses are good. This item is going to be broken. 100% crazy. This seems so good, man. This is really easy to unlock as well. I think shot glasses are going to get hit with another nerf. Shot glasses are just so insane, man. This card seems nuts. What about Sea Dock Saloon? The problem with Sea Dock Saloon is you're spending 2 slots on not a friend. Shot glass is a small item that can just give this 100 damage and 20 burn immediately before the first activation. You only get one? Oh, you're right. You only get one. You're right. You only get one. That's true. It says or. You can only get one. Yeah, you go for the... Oh, what do you go for? I guess it's dependent. I thought you got both. That would be really broken, but even if you get one, it's good. I think you just go for the haste. Because holsters exist. What happens if you complete both quests at the same time? You probably get the top one. You probably get slow. That was actually it. Okay. And then we have 5 more down here. These items are spicy. Stealth Glider. Your items have plus 20% crit chance. You take no damage for the first 3 seconds of each fight. The first time you use an item each fight, lose all damage reduction. So what this does is it says you take no damage for the first 3 seconds at silver. At gold, it's 5. At diamond, it's 7, is what I've heard from reliable sources. So this is just a sniper rifle build, right? Sniper rifle is finally playable. I don't think this item is insane. You have to realize, as soon as you use an item, you lose that damage reduction. I don't think this is broken. You guys think it's broken? 7 seconds means Boulder can just always land? Not really. You can still slow and freeze. This makes you like super bad against freeze and slow. I don't think it's broken at all. I think it's like... It's probably mid. And then it's going to be like insanely good if you find a build where you're... where your sniper... Like, okay, this is like the perfect scenario. You have this item at diamond for 7-second invulnerability. You have a 6.9 second cooldown Julian, and you have a 7-second cooldown sniper rifle. And you don't do anything before then. And even then, if you like get mistimed because they slow the sniper rifle, or the Julian rather, so the sniper rifle goes off first, you're screwed. This makes you really bad against any form of disruption, because the 7 seconds don't mean anything. For sure broken, it cancels out so many builds. Any quick OTK like Keg Bunker Field are now eliminated. Good. Good. That doesn't make it broken though, at all. Like, really? I'm pretty sick and tired of Keg, man. That being said, I do not think this is like that good at all against the bunker stuff, because you're still shielding yourself. It's not like you're going all in. It's not like you have no defenses, and as soon as they become vulnerable again, that they're just like, that it's over. That's like saying tent is broken because, yeah, exactly. Like, I'm gonna try to hold your hand, Chad, while I say this, but inherently, there is a really big aspect of Bazaar that is just rock, paper, scissors. And this card is like the epitome of that, which is why some people are like rock players and they see this paper and they're gonna be like, oh my god, paper is so broken because I only play rock. But like, it loses to so many, like, you know, this loses to a lot of, like, I think it just gets completely shit on by any amount of slow or freeze. The 20% crit damage is good, but it's almost ignorable. Like, this is a very specific item that says you are playing a boulder or a sniper rifle that doesn't do anything until exactly 7 seconds. I'm the Kek Force builder, I'm a rock. I think it's beautiful that there is a counter, because like Vanessa always had this Apex build, as Raresh called it in the collab I did with him. It's like, okay, let's say your early game is kind of shit with Vanessa. You really don't want that as Vanessa. It doesn't really matter nearly as much as having a shit early game with Dooley, because in the late game, Vanessa can be this one-shot build with Kek. It beats virtually anything in the game if it's like the perfect Kek setup, right? So the fact that she has that means Vanessa will always be a viable hero because of the way her late game works with that Apex build. This kind of says, okay, yeah, not always actually, not always, unless you have a Radiant Keg. This is true as well because 7 seconds later, any scaling build is now completely out of hand. If your sniper does go up within that second that you're getting hammered. Exactly. Exactly. I think there are ways like, okay, if you're playing against Mac, that's fine. The 7 seconds is actually perfect against something like Mac. But I said, oh, at Diamond, this is 7 seconds of invulnerability. That's why I'm saying 7. So I'm just imagining late game scenarios, which is where I see this card being played. Because in the late game, you want to have this card, 7 seconds of invulnerability, and after 7 seconds, you want your one-shot item to go off. That's the way I see this being used. If you're playing Mac, you're going to have a lot of regen. You're still getting one shot. If you're playing Pig, you're going to have a lot of shielding. So with shielding, the item might not one-shot you. And then they've skilled, and then they're going to kill you right after. Also, there is a distinction here between using Stealth Glider or Crow's Nest. I'm not going to, like, argue that Crow's Nest is the best way to play Sniper Rifle. I think Sniper Rifle is a good item with Crow's Nest because you can kind of like keep firing and heal yourself back up. But now you have to make a choice. And if you're playing Stealth Glider, that means the first shot of Sniper Rifle needs to kill your opponent. If you're playing Crow's Nest, you can kind of sometimes get multiple shots. It's a little more like flexible in that sense. I like this item a lot. I think it's a very cool item. It's great to have in the game because it kind of stops some builds that we've all been pretty frustrated with losing to nowadays. But yeah, it does have that inherent risk of what am I going to queue into. Can't you run both? Absolutely. But dude, if I'm playing against somebody with Stealth Glider and Crow's Nest, I'm probably winning. I don't know what the percent crit does. No. Yeah, so the important thing about this is you really need to not do anything for 7 seconds. Again, the reason I like this is because there are greedy builds that are pretty cool, to be honest. And they have a really slow startup time. And this item kind of like gives build like that a way to survive in a late game. I think it's important for that. Like we're kind of entering a Bazaar meta, like someone could even call it power creep, where in the late game, it's just about who shoots first. And this item makes that less obvious. If you're adding, or if you're spending all your gold resources just to be able to shoot faster than your opponent, like everybody does that. I will take out the best item on my board just because it is a slightly longer cooldown. And this item might, if it's popular, might make people reconsider and play a little more greedy, a little more slower, and that could simply like just pull Bazaar into a healthier meta where people actually play optimal items and play for cool builds instead of fast builds. I'm saying cooler, these are not the correct words, but you guys know what I mean. Wetware. 8 seconds, shield 10. When you use a weapon item, this gains 20 shields for the fight. If you have another tech item, reduces item's cooldown by 2 seconds. I thought this was mid, but then Bunny reminded me of the barrel days, and barrel was really good. Barrel was a good item, so this might actually be pretty playable. Early game item for sure though. Early game item, you want to spam fast weapons, like you're gonna have Shark Claws, this, maybe a bunch of small weapons. At that point, you could ask yourself, do I not just want more small weapons? And I think most of the time you do. There's no good mix of shield items and weapon items for Vanessa. Where was too broken? Yeah, so they added like a bunch of conditions to this with play a tech item to have the cooldown lower even. And then it's not with like poison, it needs to be weaponed. I think barrel was especially good because you could play good poison items that Vanessa had, and just let the barrel sit there. Shield while your opponent dives to poison. Poison is not really a thing with weapons as much. Bladed hoverboard. Without even reading the text, I looked at it, I glanced at it. My first instinct for this card was it's broken. So medium weapon tech aquatic vehicle, bladed hoverboard. Adjacent items have their cooldown reduced by 10 seconds. When you use an adjacent item, deal 20 damage. Yeah, this seems broken still. I think this one almost guaranteed to be broken. Barrel is only adjacent. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. Because adjacent, like you're forced into weapons with a shield item, which is just not that good. Shield inherently just has better synergy with burn and poison. Star Chart, but bayonet in both directions. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it actually. It's really good. This will find some broken boards. But most of all, it's got Vanessa's grippers. Vanessa's grippers are on main display, so if you want another good reason to play it, there you go. Gooners are eating. Shuriken. Small weapon with 3 ammo. This has plus multicast equal to its current ammo. When you use this, spend all its ammo. Those are pigs. Okay, really quickly. This item seems sick, by the way. I think it was here. Yeah, I think it's this. So this is a video of devs playing with the new items. So we can see Oni Mask and the Shurikens and the integrated HUD. So what I think it's doing is it's critting a lot. And because of that, this is getting burned and this is getting burned. Yeah, it's Cannonball and the Incendiary rounds. Also, Turbo this. That seems really cool, man. Seems like a crazy good item. I like this item a lot. I love that playstyle of like I'm adding ammo to this to make my item stronger. I think dive weights is really cool for that as well. I think dive weights are obviously quite broken because of the amount of haste it can put out. But this just like using all the ammo, and when it's used, it spends all its ammo. Also makes it really cool for like some reload items, right? It is 8-second cooldown, which is crazy though. This enables Ballista. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, Ballista's really good with this, yeah. Like a bunch of multicast immediately. I like this item a lot. Cyber Sight, gold item, weapon tech. This has 10% crit chance. The first 3 times you crit with this item in a fight prevent all damage you take for the next 1 second. I don't think this is that good. I don't really know about this item. It's a medium item. You go invulnerable 3 times. But how do you make that matter if you're playing a weapon that needs to crit like this? I'm not sure how to rate this one. This seems like really weird on an item like this, but I don't know where else they would put it to make it balanced. This is obviously a very strong effect. It's just like, okay, but why do I care about critting this? I'm doing 10 damage. Like in a late game, am I gonna win because I'm going invulnerable 3 times while I'm using 2 item slots for it? And you need to crit with this thing specifically. So that's 15 seconds. It can be hasted. So like in a span of about, let's say 12 seconds, maybe you're going invulnerable 3 times. That seems bad to me. Fast invulnerable potion, but invulnerable potion is also bad. And invulnerable potion has to be better than this because it automatically activates itself. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. This is the item that stands out the most to me. I think this one has the most potential to shake up the Bazaar meta, fundamentally. Because hopefully the game will be less about fast activation and more about just like playing for power. I'm very excited. I'm mostly excited about the pig items because I am a pig player. The premium Piggle seem awesome. It's especially cards like this, right, that just enable the entire board. That seem very, very interesting to at least get it off the ground and get a feel for it. But it is very specifically toys. You want to be playing toys, and that is not really something we had a build around for. It's just like, okay, I'm gonna play some toys because they are baseline good, but never like, okay, I'm incentivized to play specifically toys. Is that you in a... Bro, what do you mean, man? What do you mean is that you in a Piggle hat? This guy does not look like me. Bird goes well with this? Yeah, it does. Multicast? For sure. I really like these items. I'm excited to try it in a couple of days.